I've got the bug in me now. I've got the disease of buying old comic books. We'll talk.
What happens when you're stuck at home with nothing to do?
Yeah. All right, you ready to hit this, John?
Yeah, it says we're recording.
It says recording.
So there
it does. Okay. Well, welcome to TGS episode 2. I'm Dave DeWanch.
I'm Super Ugly.
I'm Graham Miller.
Brian Roberts.
And I'm Ron Zorb.
Zorb. Good job. Yeah, that guy. I'm running through forest.
I was born an ugly baby. I hate it when they come around. We the bastard sons of flashing guns, some ass on a hunt for ducks on the second half of Mario 1. Are we not men? Sometimes we hardly got.
So, welcome back to the show, everybody. Why are we here? We're here because we're all trapped. I've got a backdrop going, but I'm actually at my brother-in-law's house. We decided to drive to the Bay Area, so I'm in the Bay. I'm up in it. Yeah. We were like, fuck it, man. We were tired of being stuck at home. We always go for a drive on the weekends, and we just decided to keep driving. So, here we are. I just had some sushi, some fucking Bay Area sushi. It was delicious. And now I'm here with you.
He'll be dead in 10 minutes, everybody. It'll be great. He got the Kobe.
Which gas station did you get it from?
There's a place called Yo Sushi out here in Albany. So we have
you're not in fucking San Jose or Santa Clara or anything, right?
No.
Okay, good. That area sucks. Don't go near that area.
Yeah, so we're here for
the worst.
We're gonna be here for a couple days, and then we're gonna drive back home and pretend like it never happened. That we're actually at home and being responsible.
I'm sorry. I was busy texting the police, telling them that you are actively.
I'll chat you the address.
Hang on.
You can make sure.
Small brown man, balding.
Well, like right before we got on the call, I ate a bunch of sushi and had some weed delivered to us. It's pretty awesome.
That's a dream night. Night, baby.
Yep. So how's everyone doing? How are you doing over there, Granty?
Good.
Yeah? I'm actually closer to you this week. Are you going to be, where are you in, Pleasanton, or are you in
Dublin?
Dublin? I'll be in Dublin this week, too.
You're in Ireland?
Infect you.
Yeah.
We should do a picnic, Grant. We should go get some takeout food and go sit in a park.
Totally.
One dude has had a heart attack almost, and the other guy is recovering from cancer. I hope they just hook up together and just hang out. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Are you worried about that at all, Grant? Is your immune system fucked at all, or are you like?
Nah.
No.
I'm healthy like ox.
Okay. Well, you're looking svelte. You're looking thinner and thinner, which is a lot.
Yeah.
I need to see a truffle shuffle out of you or something.
Cancer's a hell of a diet.
That cancer diet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful. So how's everyone else doing other than Grant's? I'm
hoping I get my cancer.
How you doing over there, Brian?
All right.
Don't listen to him. He's melancholy. I could tell.
It's not. Yeah. It seems like it, doesn't it?
Oh, it's just wearing down a little bit on me. I'm actually going to take like a week off of work just so I can do the kids' school and stuff and not have to worry about doing both.
Is this like week 4 of lockdown, or is this week 5 now?
Who knows?
I think it's been over a month now.
Yeah. I've really hit the wall. Like at first I was kind of cool with it, and now I'm like, I'm way fucking over it. I mean,
I thought you would be over it in like 2 days, Dave. This is not your thing. This is the anti-Dave, like...
No, yes, I am a social butterfly. Yes, but I was traveling every week to the Bay Area, so it was taking a lot out of me. So I was like, oh, you're gonna make me stay at home? Perfect. But then like this last week, I literally just started getting like, I don't know if it's depression, but definitely like that melancholy, where I'm just like, what's there to do? There's nothing to fucking do.
Right.
I mean, we all have watched stuff, I'm sure, and we'll go over it and we'll do it. But before we get to that, we this week will be talking about our top 3 post-apocalyptic or pandemic movies, or things, right? That's it's all on everyone's mind, so we wanted to
I
get
call
people-
when the world has gone to shit.
yeah.
How's that?
That's the name of the episode, When the World Has Gone to
The
Shit.
world has gone to shit.
I mean, I think that all of us reuniting for this podcast or whatever is a harbinger of the apocalypse, right there.
Yeah.
We said we would never do this again, and here the fuck we are. So,
Mhm.
yeah. What's been going on with you, Ron?
My week is exactly the same every week. So, yeah, kids, housework. That's it. That's like and work. That's my life. So
Yeah.
boring. Yep.
I feel like, and I don't want to like,
boring. We'll just say that.
I don't want to like let the cat out of the bag with people at work, but like my front end of the week is like really, it's really like intense and a lot of work that needs to get done. But by like Friday, I don't really have that much to do. So I'm like doing a bunch of like e-learning bullshit where I'm like sitting in front of a computer like I always do, just watching videos and shit for work. It's kind of crap. What is your day any more intense? John's day is not intense at all. John, what do you do with your day?
I draw every day. I have to draw.
Yeah.
I'm on a commission list that I have to work on. I'm drawing every day.
It's good.
And I'm working on something special, something very big and special. So I'm writing and drawing on that right now. So I have things
What?
I got pokers in the fire, all kinds of stuff.
I don't know if you've talked about this with us.
If I can't get stuff done during this, like, I don't know when I should be able to get things done. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can't come out with a record, a book, a record and a book, I don't know. If I can't come out with all those things in a quarantine, what am I good for? I should just
Do you
be thrown
feel
out
like
in the
though?
trash.
Yeah, but you also have a wife and a kid that are demanding of your time, and now you are all around at the same time. Are you finding that that's difficult, or is that like?
Well, like I said, I gotten commissioned, so I've been paid to do art. So I have to do that art. It's not like I can just be like, oh well, I'll get to it when I have to like churn out this art.
Grant,
that's good.
Are you amazed at how professional John sounds right now? Because I am. I'm completely
I'm very,
blown away
very
by this.
impressed.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
I mean, like super golf claps here. I'm just like, what is going on? Who is this young budding artist that's sitting in front of us right now? It's fucking crazy. I love it.
I do have to say during this quarantine, that we have been invited in the last like few days. My wife and my child has been invited over to like play dates, numerous play dates.
Really?
So I
To
feel
help-
like
Is it when you get there? Is it going to be one of those things where like they check your genetics and then they make your children mate to
no.
keeps going.
Take your temperature.
play
It's just
dates?
it's people up here like just being like, okay, we're done. All right, we're ready to go. We're gonna start to have, they don't want to have like a huge party, but they still want to have like they still want to have people over, like I got invited to go swimming at somebody's house like 2 days ago, like, and I'm like, no, I'm fucking not going. What are you talking about? Why would I be, I'm confused by it, but it's, my wife is like not as confused. She's like, maybe. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
I was out and about today, and there was a lot of people on the road.
right.
Like, just out everywhere.
Yeah, and we live on the beach or by the beach, and there are people out all the fucking time. Like it was kind of crazy. I mean, I get it. Like you can't stay inside all the time, but when we go out like and take like an hour walk every day, just check it out, and it's like consistently been more and more people out.
Yeah.
But everyone's wearing masks still, so that's good, I guess.
I gotta say, masks fucking suck balls. They steam up my glasses and gets all hot and wet on my mouth. It's not fun.
Is that a child? Yep.
There's a child.
At first, it was distorted because of your background, and I thought your child was like an animal to abuse. It was really yeah. So
when all this started, when I had a job, I was saying to my coworker that I was like, "There's no way America would let itself be shut down like Italy was," and I mean, I'm very surprised that people have sheltered in place. I'm proud of everybody for doing it. but I honestly, you could start to see the seams cracking, or people are not. Yeah. Americans are stubborn and stupid, and they will not be told to just like stay inside.
Yeah. Well, and I get it though too. Like, I don't necessarily agree with everyone that's protesting, because I think that the measures are in place to make sure that we're all safe and as healthy as we can be. But if you're out of work and all you want to do is earn money and fucking support your family, I can't really bitch at people that want to go back to work. I mean,
it's tough.
It's crazy.
It's tough. Yeah. But we all know that, like, we're just like, yeah, but the longer we don't all just agree to do this, the longer this stupid thing is going to drag on. It's like, if we had all just say, and let's just say in a perfect world, everybody had just gotten inside the first like couple months, we'd be done with this thing. But it's like, it took so long for everybody to finally get inside. We're never going to be done with this stupid thing for so long,
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I think last week I hit the wall because they canceled San Diego Comic-Con. And it just like, I was like, wow, that's like,
that was it.
Well, that's the one thing that, like, in comics, I always like look forward to. It's like the one time I get to see everyone.
And sports. Sports is gone.
Sports.
Yeah.
Dude, sports.
I literally told Megan last week, I was like, I would even watch a fucking hockey match or game or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't even care. I know. I don't care either, John, but I'm just saying I'd watch it. Fuck. Anything. So.
Ooh, I figured out how to flip off Grant, because last week when I flipped off Grant, I went the wrong way. Now I realize things are opposite because it's like a mirror. So here, I'm flipping off Grant right now. There,
actually, that's good job.
In the recording.
I'm actually on top of you. There you go.
And Grant's, yeah.
I didn't know it was that type of video, but cool.
So I'm always on top of you.
So what have you guys been doing to entertain yourselves, I guess? I mean, enough about whether or not we can all go back to work. We can't yet. I mean,
I found a new show.
What'd you find?
A new show on, well, I don't know how new it is. It's on Netflix. It's called Unorthodox. Have you guys heard of it?
I've heard of that.
I saw the picture of the girl getting her head shaved, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's
Orthodox Jews, right?
A deep, disturbing, very Jewy look into the dark world of the Orthodox Jews. Like this is centered on in Brooklyn, and it's got this one badass dirty Jew named Moshe who like uses guns and gambles and smokes and he's just one of those badass Orthodox Jews.
I didn't know there was such a thing as a badass Orthodox Jew, by the way.
They're all horrible. But
by the way, everyone, he's Jewish. Okay, we have to qualify this, but he's basically yelling at his own kind.
But it's such a trip because you get a good look into this weird Amish kind of like, it's like a cross between Amish and like Middle Eastern world where they have these weird old school rules and stuff, and like the women have to shave their heads and then put on wigs, like just dumb. And
that's fucking weird. So that's what that picture was.
Is it a reality show?
No, it's like a docu. Well, it's not even a docudrama. It's more of just a straight up drama, but it's it's based on a book. It started off a little slow. It's only 4 episodes, but then it gets pretty good, pretty fast. I recommend.
What have I? Oh, I made Megan watch Onward, and I made Megan watch Toy Story 2 through 4. She'd seen 1 but hadn't seen the rest. 4 is actually really good. I was surprised at how good Toy Story 4 was.
I still haven't watched it. I need to watch it.
When you like watch them all together, they're kind of formulaic, and then when you get to the 4th one, they're like, "Nope, we're going to throw the formula out." Which
it's very different.
Yeah, I really, really appreciated that because watching them all together, you kind of get tunnel vision. But then that 4th one comes out, and you're like, "Man, it's really, really good." So we've been doing a lot of Disney Plus just because we wanted to watch something happy. And then I've also been buying a bunch of stuff. I showed you before we started recording, but I'm going to show the viewers. This came out finally, the pop figure for the child. I got this from the Cape and Cowl guys out in Oakland. And then also, this is just an aside, but what I got from Cape and Cowl was
Oh, you son of a god!
I got. Oh, is it going to show it? No.
Yeah, hold it just right.
That's what you get. No.
I got a Hulk 181, and I got it for a lot of money. But I also.
I want to know. You got to divulge it. How much did you pay for it?
Over 2.
What?
What's the grade?
7.5. So, almost like right in between 2 and 3. How about that? We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
But yeah. So, I've been looking for that book for a long ass time. It's one of the one key books I never had as a kid. I had Hulk 180. I never had Hulk 181. I sold a bunch of comics when I was like in college to pay for whatever the fuck I was into then, which is like I look back and I cringe. So I've been looking on eBay and I've been
carton of smokes, bro.
That's probably it. Just business smokes. So I've been looking on eBay for stuff, and I'm finding like a couple of things here and there that I really, really want. But I have like that book I didn't really have a limit on, and I don't really have a limit on Daredevil 1, which is probably going to be my next big book that I buy. But then everything else after that is like $200 or less. I don't want to spend a lot of money.
Dave, are you finding that the deals are better right now because people aren't wanting to spend a lot of money on these, somewhat frivolous things?
I'll tell you, I think it's hard. It's hard for me to say that because I wasn't looking before this, so I couldn't tell you. And I'm not on the pulse of what's hot or not or whatever. But obviously, all the Marvel Phase 4 or 5 shit, Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, She-Hulk got announced for a TV show.
Yeah,
Winter Soldier, all that shit. All of the tie-in books, the key books for them are still really, really strong.
Are you only buying graded books?
No. I just bid on a Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1. I didn't get it. And it looked like it was in pretty good condition, but it was at the right price for me to take the gamble on it being good or bad or whatever.
Right.
If it's a book like this, I'm not taking chances. Because someone could just inflate it, and then I could get it graded, and it's a 3.0, and then I just lost $1,000.
Right.
So, yeah. So like the key books I'm looking for: Daredevil 1, Giant Size X-Men 1. What else? I want a Deathlock first appearance just to have it, just because I like Deathlock.
That was a Marvel Spotlight book, right, or something like that?
It was an Astonishing Tales, I think.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, there's a couple books like that I'm into. I actually just picked up a She-Hulk 1 for like $100, and it was a 9.4. I'm like,
man,
that's easy. That's an
easy. I wanted to buy that book a long time ago, just because it was John Byrne, and I was like, I kind of want to get it.
Oh,
and
this is the one.
Day when it was like.
That's volume 2. The volume 1 is.
Talk about Savage She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, yeah. Yeah, there was.
Okay.
I still have all the John Byrne stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
But it really is cool because it's gotten me interested in getting into my old comics and seeing what I actually have. Because, when you're looking for just like, I have that one, all right. I don't know what condition this one is, but I can get it that one. I think I want an Eternals #1, but I think I want it just because I want to sell it later. And that book is pretty affordable. It's not too crazy.
I was looking for a Nova one because I believe Nova's going to be. I know it's over 100 now, and I'm like, I feel like Nova's going to be a character they're going to get to, and he's going to be huge.
Yeah, that's a book that like my cap on that book is $150, but you can find it.
Get it right now. You can find it.
Yeah, but I'd want it graded, and I wouldn't want it less than an 8. So
yeah, that's a little bit more of a modern-ish book, right? So you should be able to find them in a little bit better condition.
Yeah. I mean, you could get a 5.0 for nothing, but it's a 5.0 of a book that's pretty common when you get down to it. So
fucking pinky in the air. I got a 8.7.
Hey, once you have Cap 100 and first appearance of Wolverine, you gotta fucking keep your standards high, bro.
We haven't recorded in a long time, weirdly. So I actually got a bunch of books slabbed too.
What did you get slabbed?
You did?
Yeah, I know. I think I told Dave this, but I got so I had found a golden record of
reprint book
of Avengers #4.
Yeah.
And so it was basically Avengers 4, and it was Cap's first appearance, but it was reprinted in 1968, I want to say. And so, it's an old, even though it's not the first appearance, it's from 1968, and it comes with the record. And I found it in great condition. And so I got that slabbed, and
what was the grade on that? 8?
8.5 with
That's
white
really
pages. Yeah, white pages. So, and I found it at an estate sale in the record sleeve of the record, just loose. It wasn't even like in anything. So it was just had been sitting in this record for that long. And then that one, it's a $500 book. So I was like, there you go. That's good. Right. I mean, that's why I got that one slabbed. And then I got a couple X-Men. I got X-Men one, first appearance of Alpha Flight, and maybe Death of Phoenix. And then I got a first appearance of Star-Lord. No, first Miss Marvel #1.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And your Miss Marvel #1 is what, a 6, or was it a?
It was like a 7 something.
Yeah, that's another book I want too. I want Nova, Miss Marvel, but I'm looking for like crazy.
Hey, by the way, that's the one I found that in a stack of books that you gave me back from the ones I sold you when I was a kid.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, I've got a first Star-Lord and Ms. Marvel #1, and I never even realized I had them. So there you go.
Yeah, I haven't been collecting Marvel stuff in a long time, and now that's all the stuff I want. I have a ton of DC stuff.
He was such a Marvel bitch. He hated Marvel, and now he's like, Marvel.
Well, I grew up on Marvel, but then I switched to DC at Crisis, and at Crisis I just was all in on DC. So like I've got everything post-Crisis on through like 2010, I want to say, for DC. So I've got like everything, but it's not that hard to get. And you know what I mean? Like none of that shit's really, really key or tough. Because I think it's maybe DC stuff isn't as strong in the multimedia or whatever, But who knows what's going to happen with those guys? They need to get their shit together. That DC films, man. I saw Birds of Prey, by the way. Did anyone else see it?
Yeah.
No, we talked about it last week, and you said it was a good start, bad ending.
Yeah. I was hoping. I think that like she's great in it. The Harley Quinn. What's her name?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. Yeah, she's awesome. Everything else is okay.
Grant.
Yes.
I guess I'm looking down here. Grant, how's your feeding tube?
Oh, well, I was going to tell you guys about it. So I got that taken out day before yesterday.
Did you have to eat it like placenta? Did you have to like do that?
I had to eat it, Dave. Yeah. It was fucking horrible. So I'm laying down there at the doc's office at Kaiser, and he's like, okay, so I said it's not going to be that bad, but it's going to be kind of bad. And so he starts pulling this fucking tube out of my side that's going into my stomach. And he pulls it up and he goes, look, here it is. And he shows, and it's literally like 2.5 feet long. And it looks like it's got poo and stuff in it. It was so awful. But he, like, you can't pull that thing out super fast. You can't just rip it out, but you can't do it too slow. So like but it felt slow, and so like it's coming out from deep inside me for like a long time. And it was just the weirdest, most awful feeling. And I still have these phantom pains.
And that's the story of Grant's first time jerking off.
Oh my God.
And so I've got this hole in my side that I have a dressing on. I've been changing every day. But now I've got no deathlock attachments coming out of my body. And
what was your so what was your celebration meal?
I think I had a burger. I think. I've been eating normal for the past week. That's it. Okay. So food's food. I'm eating everything.
That's the name of the episode. Food's food. Oh, so what else have you guys been watching or doing? Anything that
I watched that the Michael Jordan documentary that started. It's a 10-part documentary.
I heard that shit was amazing.
It's really good. Yeah, they did the first 2 episodes. They'll do 2 a week for the next 5 weeks.
Did you stream it or did you watch it live?
I watched it on a replay on ESPN, but I think it can be streamed. I'm trying to watch it like pretty much live as it goes down. So it's on tonight.
Okay.
They're going to release them all together, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think Netflix has the rights after it's finished, so I think it'll show up on Netflix as soon as it's available. I'm also going to download Apple so I can watch that Beastie Boys movie by Spike Jonze too.
I know.
I'm dying to see it.
I didn't want to sign up for that just to watch it, but man, it looked really good.
I think you can do a free trial. Can't you do a free trial?
Yeah, it's like a 7-day free trial, dude.
I'm doing it. That's all
I'm going to do it too. How about this? Before we record next week, we should all just do the 7-day trial, watch it, and talk about it, because that's going to be fucking awesome. Is Amazing Stories also on Apple, Grant? Do you know?
I think
sounds
that is,
right. Yeah.
It might
Is it out yet, though?
I'm not sure.
I mean, do they even have the old ones? Where can I find the old ones?
It was on something at one point, but
nobody gives props to Amazing Stories anymore. I want to see some Amazing Stories.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Oh, and then fucking HBO Max is coming out too, right? HBO Max is next month, and they're gonna do some crazy cool shit too. John doesn't like it. Why don't you?
I don't want it. It's too much. I got HBO anyway on Hulu.
What is Max?
I think
it's Extreme, Grant. Duh.
Yeah, they take it to the max. Here, I'll go down a list of shows that are gonna be on there.
They're gonna have a lot of DC stuff.
Grant, let me tell you what Max is in reference to you. It's getting cancer surgery and then shoving a whole pizza into your mouth. That's to the max. Okay,
got it.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Oh, the new Gremlins show is going to be on there. There's a Green Lantern show.
Wait, whoa.
You can't gloss over Gremlins.
It's called Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai, guys.
No.
Yeah, and the guy that runs TKO Comics, I don't know, I can't remember his name. I think his name is Cheese Zen or Zune or something like that.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to get a job there now. But he's the showrunner on it. So yeah. But they've got everything on HBO plus a bunch of new stuff. There's House of the Dragon is coming out, Grant, and it's a prequel to Game of Thrones. God, what else is going to be on there? Sorry. This is a really bad podcast. This seems very.
I switched to a certain view where only the person talking is like, the one that shows up on the screen, and of course I just switched to you typing on your computer. So I'm going to go back. All right, that was less exciting than I thought it would be. All it is Dave doing this.
Oh yeah, no, actually I'm on my phone. I'm just looking at my phone. But yeah, I mean, if you already have HBO Go or whatever, HBO Now or whatever the fuck it is, you might as well be down on HBO Max. So I'm looking forward to that.
I just don't want to get anything. I'm not getting Peacock and I'm not getting Apple. I don't need that stuff.
No.
We haven't recorded since Mandalorian. Can we do a quick Mandalorian?
That's my review. I love it. It's so good.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Any complaints?
Maybe the Farmer Planet episode, but who cares?
Formulaic.
Just filler. You know what I mean? I think everything before and after.
I thought the last 3 or 4 episodes were pretty fucking great, I thought.
Oh my god, those fucking speeder bike dickheads were the best thing ever.
Oh my god. Good.
Wasn't Jason Sudeikis?
Yes. Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah,
I think it was Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally were the 2 speeder bike pilots.
Yeah.
I thought that shit was amazing. That when they showed up, I mean, when they were in the episode prior to, they were at the gates of the city or whatever.
Right.
Just that alone was like everything I've ever wanted from Star Wars in one scene. That was like so perfect for me.
Yeah.
So on Disney Plus, there, I think it starts next week. Is the Mandalorian documentary series too? It's the making of. Oh, that's gonna be great. I don't
know if I need. Maybe I don't.
They filmed that shit though, right?
Like that.
They didn't do green screen on that show. They did fully 3-dimensional backdrop screens that they projected onto. So all of the things that you saw in the backgrounds were being filmed live with a giant screen behind them. So it was they flipped the idea of using green screen. It's pretty rad.
Well, I saw the pictures of it, so now I don't need to watch the documentary. Is what I'm saying.
You're welcome. I mean, I explained it perfectly.
You totally. It was like painting a picture in my head.
It's kind of like what we're doing with our backgrounds, except Grant. Actually, and you there, Brian. But we know you can.
Yeah, Brian has got the best background of all.
So
look at it. Yeah. Oh man, what you did with that white. Chef's kiss.
Yes.
Grant, do you just not have a computer, or what are you doing?
So
it's because you only have your work computer?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
That's funny.
Yeah, I've been playing video games, Brian. You'd be so pleased with me. But I feel like I'm playing catch up.
So pleased.
I'm playing like Resident Evils that came out like 10 years ago, and they're brand new to me, and I just feel like, oh, look at this fucking awesome technology, and I'm like, oh, shit's 10 years old.
I'm playing Super Mario Deluxe.
Are you playing? Is anyone playing Animal Crossing yet?
No.
No? No one. No one call us playing Animal Crossing.
I could barely play Super Mario Deluxe. That's it.
I've been playing a lot of Super Tennis on Super Nintendo.
Do you actually have an old Super Nintendo or an emulator?
No, it's through the Switch with my kid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Of all the games, it's the one that like we play doubles all the time.
John discovered something.
It's an awful game, but it's simple and fun. I don't know why, but we both like it.
So, do you both then have Switches? Is that how you play? Do you play on?
No, just when I'm hanging out with them.
Oh, you just plug it in, and then you have two controllers, and you just stick it.
Yeah.
Grant, I wasn't listening. What did you just say? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying. I was busy doing this.
You're busy doing the Simpsons hands.
What game did you say?
Oh crap! How do you get rid of it?
What's that?
Super Tennis.
Okay. Is it you exercise?
No.
Oh.
It's just blocky Super Nintendo tennis.
Oh, okay.
It's like a step up from Pong, basically.
Oh, okay. For that story, I give you.
All right, how do you take that off, though, John?
I don't know.
Oh, by the way,
it's there forever.
It just goes away. Oh, you just leave it alone. It goes away.
Don't touch it. Don't look at it, Brian. Don't even look at it. It knows.
So, hey, Brian, there's a Dune TV show coming out on HBO Max. Dune: The Sisterhood, and just dark.
Not the movie.
No, all new.
There's a Dune movie too.
Yeah, that's the only one I know about is the movie. I didn't know they were going to do a TV show.
I'm telling you, it's going to be fun.
Aren't they doing a bunch of DC stuff on Max? Because isn't it all owned by the same people?
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's where all the DC stuff is going.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be dope. I mean, if you haven't watched Doom Patrol, which was fucking amazing, that'll be on HBO Max too.
Oh,
What happened to the DC streaming?
It still exists, I think. I don't know.
Now, I want to actually sign up so I can watch a few things and then quit it.
I watched Doom Patrol and Titans.
Swamp Thing was great, and then it got canceled like before it even finished. But that show was good.
Young Justice, I watched.
Oh, I want to watch that.
It wasn't good.
What?
I know. You could tell. No, I know. You could tell it was different animation. It was a little off. They tried to do similar, but you could tell it was cheaper. And they were trying to do it as like kind of bring in some new characters. So they brought in like the Outsider style characters. It was like Metamorpho, Geoforce.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So what sucked is that basically like some of the main characters that we love kind of disappeared. And then it was mostly like Robin, Superboy, maybe. It was like they didn't use every character. So, and then they tried to jam all these new characters in. And I just didn't think they played it much more like a soap opera. It wasn't a very like action-packed show. Yeah, they focused on relationships rather than, like more of the like cool storytelling. No, I know.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It was. I didn't even finish it because it was like.
Oh, I'm gonna cancel my subscription before I get it.
It basically like I got through about maybe 10 episodes and then I was like, this isn't going anywhere. It's not
weak.
It's funny because I watched the second season prior to watching the third season just to remind myself that fucking second season is incredible. It's incredible. That show is incredible. And I just can't believe they messed up the third season.
Yeah. They set it up pretty well too, I thought. So
yeah. Anybody watching Clone Wars, the new season? Is it good?
I just caught up to I just got through the last one. Wow, it's super good.
Yeah.
It's super
I heard they're
good.
like doing something where they can introduce Dash Rendar. Is that a character I'm thinking
Yeah,
of?
that's a character from Shadows of the Empire. He was like...
I mean, they could, I guess. I don't recall seeing anybody like that.
I didn't read the article, but I saw it pop up.
The current episodes that are like the last 2 that they just put out, they actually run parallel to Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I heard that there's
really interesting.
They're gonna like maybe even get to the Mustafar stuff. Maybe
they might. I wonder if they're gonna have a slight amount of Revenge of the Sith kind of stuff. I mean, I don't want to say anything because you're watching it, so you're probably going to watch it. I don't want to say anything. Well, it's very good. It's very good.
I did hear about a scene that I find super fascinating. Is that Ahsoka asks Anakin to come with her to wherever I don't want to give away where she's going, but wherever she's going. And at that moment, he wants to go, but he doesn't go. And it's that whole, like, that's the moment where it's like, if he was with her, nothing would, maybe things wouldn't have gone a certain way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super cool. They've also used the show as a huge gateway for Mandalorian. Like, there's so many, the whole end to the Mandalorian show it hinges on Clone Wars and Rebels. Right. That whole Darksaber. It's all from that. They used the Darksaber a lot. Rebels had a lot of Darksaber in it. Yeah. Yeah.
It was great. Who did they cast as Ahsoka for Mandalorian?
Rosario Dawson.
That's right.
That's a pretty good
choice. That's good.
Yeah,
she actually said she wanted to play that part.
Really?
Yeah, she said, she's like, if I could play any part in Star Wars, I'd want to play Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah. Wow, what a nerd. What a weird, hot nerd she is.
I know. I'm all here for it because, like, Ahsoka is honestly like, she might be my number 1 or 2 favorite character ever in Star Wars.
So I only started watching the Clone Wars because I knew that new season was coming out, and it's kind of hard to get through. Like, I'm only on episode 10 of season 1, and it's just like
no.
You got so much better.
Go to season 5, I think. It's got some of the Mandalorian stuff in it.
I think it's earlier. I think season 3 has it too.
Is okay. I haven't I just watched it recently where it was the Siege of Mandalore or whatever, and that stuff's great. You just gotta. I can maybe send you an article that shows you the best episodes to watch.
Okay. Because I don't know if I could watch all of it.
It's great, but there are stuff that because there's stuff that directly references Order 66. There's a lot of Mandalorian stuff. There's Darksaber stuff.
Yeah.
There's no Mandalore stuff though.
No Chicken Lady or Mandalorus. No
Mandalorus.
That
shit was written out of continuity. Okay. When Disney bought it, they wrote out them.
That's an extended universe thing that just doesn't canon. It's not canon anymore.
Right.
So gross. If I could take all of those memories and shoot them out of a cannon, out of my mind, that would be good. Oh my god!
I did actually watch. I know I have a Star Wars shirt on, but I just never got around to it. I actually just watched the last movie. The Rise of Skywalker.
What did you think?
It seemed like it was 2 movies in one. There was no stop in that movie, and it was okay. It turned into a complete anime at the very end. Is the best way that I could wrap my head around that whole end fight. It was the most anime thing I'd ever saw. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, he powers up and then he's so overpowered. He has unlimited power, as he would say. And
unlimited power.
Yeah, that was great. And he didn't say that. I was so disappointed that he didn't say that. I would say it's an odd movie in the sense that they had 0 plans, and at the same time they seemed a little upset that the plans got derailed in the second movie, even though they had no plans. Right. And then they went they kind of did a 90-degree turn on a lot of that stuff. So it feels super disjointed as like a series. Like I'm all, oh wow, this is very like they don't know what the hell they're doing in this series.
The one thing I'd say about Star Wars is they really got hemmed up when Carrie Fisher died. Like, I mean, honestly, like that whole thing, like basically, I think kind of ruined the back half of the second movie and the third movie to an extent, because you had to pay fan service to her even more when really she should have probably just died in number 2 and been
in that explosion in the first 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah. If she would died there, I mean, you don't have to like I will say they did an incredibly good job
I agree.
in the third movie. I mean, enough so that she was better dead in the third movie than she was alive in the stuff she did in the second movie.
Yeah.
And like, they honestly made her whole being there in the third movie kind of the crux of the movie, which is so bizarre. Like, she's the one that turns the tide at the end, right? Her death basically turns Kylo back into Ben.
Yes.
Did you believe him turning back? Because I never once was like, after he killed his dad in the first movie, I was like, well, all right, there's no bringing this guy back. And then they bring it back, and there's a release.
It's Star Wars. That's Star Wars in a nutshell. They do it constantly. But I will say that the dude murdered like tons of people. I mean, murdered tons of people.
Yeah, and like Darth Vader murdered kids. I mean, but
but Darth Vader didn't get like a smoochy smooch at the end and like you're cool. Let's get I mean, like, he died a monster, but at least a forgiven monster. Whereas, like,
I would have rather, and I'm not saying that like I would want to rewrite any of fucking Star Wars, because there's plenty of fucking trolls out there that are like, let's get the blah 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 cut of whatever. But like, it would have made more sense if Ben didn't know that Han Solo was his father until after he killed him. So then he's like, I am a villain. He's like, it was a misunderstanding or something. I don't know. I just don't.
I didn't mean to kill you.
I don't know. I mean, like, dude, he kills his dad, and then he takes a shot at his mom in the second one.
He doesn't, though. He never shot at his mom.
No,
it was the other two pilots. He actually did not shoot at her.
He shot near the ship, but he didn't shoot.
He did not shoot at the.
I just always put it together that he was the one that shot her out of the airlock. For space.
I think they did establish that he was conflicted when it came to his mom. He was very conflicted about that.
Okay.
It's just hard because I think I know this is exactly what John was saying. The unfortunate thing is that Carrie Fisher died, and I think you wouldn't have seen Han Solo on that ship. It probably would have been Carrie Fisher who appears to him.
Yeah.
To do that whole thing, but she was dead, and they said they wouldn't CG her. So,
but then they did CG her in the flashback where she's training with Luke, and I was like, this is fucking weird. Like, thought you guys were a little bit.
I'm gonna say in the hot take business here that we are in, because with hot takes everywhere that I'm gonna throw out, I would pay top dollar for a young Luke and Leia movie with CGI actors. I don't give a fuck. If you show me that shit, like a lot, I'll watch it. I mean, I watch cartoons about like Clone Wars and Rebels. It's like, why not show me basically a cartoon, but it's like real life versions of young Carrie Fisher and young Mark Hamill? That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Right?
If the story's good. But here's the other thing. Do you really need that story? I mean,
I need it all. I want it all.
Yeah, unfortunately, it because of where it goes. It's a little too late.
Yeah,
I think,
Brian.
For that.
Brian, did you like Chewie getting his medal, or did you think that was unnecessary cheese?
I don't know.
He's gonna say,
for me, it didn't. I mean, I was like, oh yeah, I guess he didn't get that medal.
But I heard a theory.
I was like, they gloss over that stuff so quick that it doesn't.
Yeah.
What's your theory, Ron?
The theory that I heard is that's not them giving the medal to Chewie. That's him receiving Han Solo's medal because
he died thing.
And Princess Leia passed away, so Princess Leia gave him Han Solo's medal.
Well, that's so she's just slapping him in his fucking furry face even more, right? She's like,
exactly.
Sorry that this trophy has your ex-partner's name on it, but here you go, you can have it now. That would be fucked up shit.
Friends though, or whatever, right? So that's why.
Yeah.
Well, if any of the like humans were alive, as soon as that Wookiee got that medal, they'd come over and be like, "No, he does not get a medal. He's an animal.
He's just a Wookiee.
He's an animal. Animals don't get
fucking
medals.
animal."
Animals get medals all the time. All right, dog shows, you get medals, right? I mean, come on.
Go feed him in his bowl with his Wookiee food. He does not eat with the humans. All right. All right. Do you guys want to go over to our top pandemic movies?
Sure. Are we gonna? So we'll go from the bottom to the top. Is that right, John?
I don't give a shit which direction we go. You could just start listing them, and I'll
you don't care if Grant's on top or on the bottom, as long as Grant's in the action, top or bottom. Either way.
I like a top and bottom.
All right, I'm gonna throw one out, and I'm gonna start from my bottom, and it's The Girl with All the Gifts. Have you guys seen this movie?
Have not seen it.
Let's see here. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Nope. I gotta exit. Stop share. I don't want you guys to see that. Hang on.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, as you're going over that, I'll go over the movie a little bit. It came out in 2016, and it's basically set kind of in the near future, almost like dystopian. Like
I'm finding it. Hang on.
And
there we go.
I don't know if you guys know Mike Carey, but Mike Carey is a comic book writer. Done a ton of stuff. He's done a ton of Marvel stuff, but he did a graphic novel called "The Girl with All the Gifts," and it's basically about kind of like a fungal infection. It's set in the near future. There's a fungal infection. All the kids have it, and all of the adults are basically just killing children. They come across this one girl that is kind of zombified like them, but is sentient, and then it becomes a matter of them trying to create a serum using her to.
Well, you're saying I have yet to see it. I really want to. It's been hard to find streaming wise, but I think it's on Shudder. Maybe I'm not 100% sure. But
I think it was on Shudder, John.
So she is basically like kind of what we would like during this virus. She is somebody that has been bit, but she does not. She still is kind of human. Is that what it is? She's human zombie kind of a thing?
Right. And she does get zombie-ish. You know, she's a bit of a loose cannon herself. But then her and two of the doctors go on the run after their military outpost is overrun. And then
this is Glenn Close?
You know, is that Glenn Close?
It looks like Glenn Close.
Looks like Glenn Close. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. It came to my list because I wanted to talk about something that I knew. I knew that a bunch of the things we were going to talk about were going to be very similar. So I wanted to throw this one out there. It is not Glenn. Oh wait, you're right, John. It is Glenn Close.
It does look like Glenn Close.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, spoilers. She doesn't make it that far. But I really, really like this movie. I thought it was pretty inventive. It was a different take on zombie stuff, and it was like end of the world stuff, and it doesn't end at all the way you think it's going to. And it ends kind of like on a weird, fucked up, like almost like it's like a down note for humanity, but like an uptick for
human zombie hybrids,
something like that. Yeah. So yeah, right. That's my number 3. Someone else go.
Go ahead, Grant.
Okay, my first one is going to be Mom and Dad.
I didn't grab a fucking picture of that one. God damn it, Grant! I forgot to grab a picture because you switched it up so quick. I'm sorry about that.
Just put in your head Nick Cage yelling and screaming and acting crazy, and you pretty much have it in your head.
I mean, you could basically Google Nick Cage screaming, and it's probably that will do.
Bringing this way back to old Geek Savants, the writer-director is Brian Taylor, who is one of the writer-directors of one of my favorite movies, Crank, and Cranked High Voltage.
Oh.
It's got Selma Blair in it, and who's the mom, and Lance Henriksen plays the grandpa.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the kid. And I'm like, whoa, that's really good acting.
Right. and it's one of those movies where the shit just starts happening, kind of like Bird Box, where you don't know where any of it comes from, what it is. They don't explain anything. It's just basically the parents are going after their kids, and it's not any parents going after any kids. It only affects like the parents and their genetic kids that they want to attack and kill. And it's like they just go crazy. But then because the movie's centered around Nick Cage and Selma Blair, their characters get fleshed out a little bit more, and they get they're like actually plotting and planning to like how they're going to get their kids, and the kids kind of are constantly escaping from them, and it's just it's a wild ride. It's a good movie. It's a fun movie.
I think it's available on streaming too. I think it's on Hulu maybe. But yeah,
I'm not sure.
I'm always like very skeptical on whether or not I'm gonna like a Nick Cage movie, and then more times than not, I'm just like I kind of go with it and I enjoy it, but I have not seen this movie. On a scale,
I recommend it.
On a scale of 1 to Mandy, where does this fit?
Well, Mandy's one of my favorites, and it's very different. It's like where Mandy's way more indie and dark. This is more kind of a mainstream horror. Like it's all daytime for the most part.
Is that how you signify whether it's a mainstream horror movie? Is if it's daytime? Okay.
Daytime horror is different. So if Mandy's like a 9, I would give this like a good 6.5, 7.
Okay, that's not bad for A, a Nick Cage movie, and B, a horror movie. So, but it's set current day, right? So it's mass hysteria, and it's probably on a global level, or is it? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So when I was going through my movies, I was really trying to go for more pandemic themed, where this one falls under, and one of my picks doesn't, but I tried.
We appreciate it, Grant.
All right, who's next?
Brian.
All right.
Ron. You haven't said enough, Ron. Let's go with Ron. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah. My number 3 is actually a music video and not a movie, but it's the party rock anthem. There you go.
All right. Now, what?
Explaining yourself, Ron.
Yes, explain yourself.
So this happens. It's actually a 2-part. You have to see a video. I don't know if it came out after or before this, called "Sorry for Party Rockin'." Okay. So what happens is, if you watch that video, at the end of it, Red Foo, he passes out or something, and he drops his phone.
Is this Red Foo?
Red Foo, yeah. So some kid picks up. He's actually the kid with the little turtle shell backpack thing on. He picks it up at the end and starts listening to the song that's on it. So then, if you look at the Party Rock Anthem video, 28 days or something like that happened later. Red Foo and Sky Blue, I think his name is, are waking up from a coma. And their song that the kid had on the phone has like gone out to everybody and turned them into these dancing zombies. So when they go out, there's a guy that's like telling them, because they see this guy dancing. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? What's going on?" And the guy comes and stops him. It's like, "No, don't talk to them. If you hear the song, it's going to get into you and it's going to turn you into a zombie." And then they put in these earplugs, and then the comedy ensues at that point. But yeah, it's definitely a pandemic type movie there that everybody's infected by this song.
All right, this guy right here is the son of
Gordy.
Gordy.
Barry
Barry Gordy. That's right. It's Barry Gordy's kid. Who directed who created one of the great movies of all time? What movie is that?
That would be The Last Dragon.
That's right, Grant.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Barry Gordy is also famous for some other stuff too, but not just The Last Dragon. They don't matter. Mostly The Last Dragon. I mean, let's be real here, guys.
Yeah.
And so, by the way, Mom and Dad is available on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, you can watch Mom and Dad.
And you can watch this video on YouTube. It's available.
As the kids do on YouTube. Right after you watch this on YouTube, you can watch that on YouTube.
This guy, weirdly enough, is this guy's uncle.
Uncle, yeah.
What?
That sounds like a pandemic apocalypse right there. I mean,
I like your pick, Ron.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right, Brian.
Anything that brings things to Last Dragon is great in my book.
Could you imagine if
that's exactly why I picked it, Grant. Just for that one reason. Yeah.
What if the Last Dragon was set in a post-apocalyptic world? How dope would that have been?
How is it not set in a post-apocalyptic?
That's what I'm fucking saying. That's what I'm saying. It'd be amazing.
Okay, so like wouldn't this be? This is kind of awesome though. So you're saying that this is similar to like a thing where if you got infected with it, you suddenly would just start doing the party rock anthem dance, and that's like all you could do.
What does the guy say? He says every day they're shuffling. You would start shuffling every day if you got that. If you heard that song,
bodies would just be dropping behind from exhaustion. Like the body would just burn itself out because they couldn't stop shuffling.
Yep. But then I tried to figure out too. Like, did they actually get infected? Because like throughout the video, they're shuffling. Right.
I think they're stuck in the loop too, man. Yeah. I think they are every day they're shuffling also.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about them, really, honestly. Like,
but there wasn't a part 3. Like there wasn't a video, I don't think, where you find out what happens to them afterwards. But
spoiler, they died.
Oh yeah.
Right. They were eaten. All right, Brian, what you got?
Children of Men.
Oh, I think I got that one. Let's see what we got.
Oh,
beautiful choice. Beautiful choice.
Yeah,
Grant.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
Sorry, Grant.
That's okay.
But this is it takes place in a world where there's worldwide infertility.
2027.
2027, yeah. Not that far off now.
Yeah.
It's been like a long time actually. So like I think we would be experiencing that infertility like now,
right now,
as they would have. So it's been like a long time, and it's caused basically like the collapse of civilization as we know it. But there's like one place that has an actual government, and so the whole idea of the story is that Clive Owen gets kind of routed into this fundamental kind of extremist group who I think they're like pro-immigration, I think is what it is. And his ex-wife, right, Julianne Moore, is kind of brings him into the fold because she's going to have him. They have a young girl who is pregnant, and they want to. They need to get her over to that functioning government, and in hopes that they can figure out a way to cure this infertility, and then basically, save the world. But man, it's not even just the story, right? Like this movie kind of blew me away because it was so masterfully put together. And that's what really I just remember. There's so many scenes in that movie that it dawns on you. You're like, dude, this is one take. Like this is like some 8-minute shot that's going on. There's one scene in the car that I won't talk about because it's kind of pivotal for certain characters.
This came out in 2006. You can talk about it.
And it's what? Well, they get. They're all in the cars. All of them. Julianne Moore's there, and they get basically ambushed, right? And it's the way it plays out, but she dies, and they're like backing up to get out. It's all one shot, and I still try to wrap my head around how this guy how he pulled off some of these shots, and then the whole end part where they're kind of going through like this war zone and bombings. It's all one shot. Like you just watch it and you're like, I cannot believe It's a fantastic. It's such a good movie.
And
it's got to be Clive Owen's best movie. Alfonso
Cuarón.
Yeah, and he did. I did see the space movie he did.
Gravity. Gravity. Yeah,
Gravity, and that had a lot of similar stuff too, where it was just like one.
He did Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah, he did Prisoner of Azkaban. That was one of the best Harry Potter movies.
He did Y Tu Mama Tambien.
That was one of his first movies.
It was.
Right? Yeah.
He also did that movie Roma that I did not see, but is on Netflix.
And he got an award for that one, right?
Well, he was nominated for Best Picture, but I don't think it won. He won Director, right?
You know who was one of the guys on the motorcycles in the scene you were talking about? And then he's kind of recurring through the rest of the movie. He's after Clive, is Charlie Hunnam. He's got these big.
He's in that movie?
He's the dreadlock guy.
Yeah, he's one.
Really? He must be super young in that movie.
He's really young. It's crazy.
That is mind-blowing.
I just saw it.
Oh, I should watch it again. That movie's so good. It's so good. It's really depressing too.
The scene at the end when the government is kind of after the terrorist group, and he comes out with the baby, and he's walking through them, and everything just stops.
Oh, it's so good.
I was crying.
It's so good. Yeah, everyone it's like yeah, they have to stop. They stop fighting. It's amazing. That whole scene is just amazing. Oh my gosh.
All right, so let's see. My movie then would be. Ooh, let's see. What do I got here? How about The Crazy?
I like that you're like totally spoilers on every. Oh, like no spoilers, guys. We're gonna show you all of these images. That's a great fucking movie. It was almost on my list too.
It's a good one, right?
It is. It's so much better than the original, man. I mean,
I don't remember anything about who directed it or anything, but it's got Timothy Olyphant in it, and it's all about like a town that basically gets kind of overrun by a virus. A plane crashes into like the waterway near their town, and slowly everybody just starts going crazy, and it kind of makes people like not zombies, but they're kind of psychopathic killers and stuff.
Yeah, there's a ridiculously scary scene in that movie. It's the
Is that the one where she's strapped to the table?
No, the car washing fucking scene where they're trapped in the car wash, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I actually have been wanting to watch this recently because I really fully enjoyed this movie, and I need to
see it again.
Especially during these times, I feel like it's a movie that needs to be watched for sure.
Yeah, that's a good movie. And
it is.
It's a killer in it too, man. He's great.
Yeah, he's really good in it.
It came off of the. I mean, it's not the same people, but like the Dawn of the Dead remake happened. It was a Romero thing. The Night of the Living Dead, and then they did the Crazies, and that I think this holds up just as well against all those remakes.
I'm always happy when you can find like a movie like that where I wasn't expecting it to kind of be as fun and as exciting as it was, and it's definitely one I want to I rewatch when it's on TV.
Yeah, it's streaming on Amazon Prime as well. So if anyone's
what else you got there, David?
Oh, for me, my middle movie is 12 Monkeys, which is like post-apocalyptic time travel movie. It's so fucking well done. It's a movie like a lot of the movies that I grade them on whether or not they're rewatchable, and that's why I didn't pick Children of Men, because that movie is a hard fucking watch, man. It's emotionally draining, and I think that this one is too. But it's like every time I see it, I see something different. I see something new, and then just Terry Gilliam's design and directing in it is just fucking amazing. So, for me, this was like the first time that I thought, like Brad Pitt is an actor. You know what I mean? Like before that, I was like, oh, this guy's just a fucking face, but he's so fucking bananas nutty in this movie. It's great. I don't really want to spoil too much of it, but needless to say, it's set in a weird Terry Gilliam future where they keep sending people back in time, and then as they go back in time, their brains get scrambled. so they don't remember why they're there or what, reality starts to get all fucked up. They did have a TV show that came out. It was on FX or something, and that was pretty good. But I think that if you like that show, this movie is just that, only like shortened and better. 12 Monkeys is the shit for me.
When I was I went to College of San Mateo to their film department, which was really good. I took a few classes there. One of the very first things they showed us was La Gite, which is the short film that 12 Monkeys is based on.
I haven't seen that.
It's basically the very beginning. So it's all about the guy being confused, and they like send him to. They're basically asking him about what happened when he went back to the past or whatever. And that's the whole film, is kind of them questioning and him questioning whether it's reality or not reality. And then they expanded that obviously into a full movie. But I agree, the design of that movie is like,
it's amazing.
Incredible.
I mean, that was a great picture that you posted up, because that like basically says everything about everything that I love about Terry Gilliam. It's just fucking weird and like doesn't look like it should exist on film at all, but there you have it, and it's just so well done.
Props to Bruce Willis too, because like it's a weird movie, but he chose it and he's really good in it. And it's not your typical kind of a Bruce Willis movie, but he pulls it off really well, that kind of manic anxiety and stuff.
Well, that's the thing too, like, and Bruce Willis, like, I don't know about you, how you guys feel about that guy, but like, he definitely
I'd fuck him. I'd fuck him. Yeah.
You fuck? Oh, cool. I like how he's drinking that so seriously. But yeah, he's fallen off for me, and like he sometimes
Bruce Willis has fallen off for you, is what you're saying. Where's that coming?
Yeah, he just doesn't pick good movies anymore, and he just does what he wants to do. He shows up, and it feels like he phones it in. This movie is like pre that for me. This is like pure, perfect Bruce Willis.
LeBron's drink was invisible, so I don't want to tell you what it looked like he was.
Did you call Ron LeBron? Because that's what LeBron.
All right, Grant, what's your next one?
So speaking of Braun, my movie's got a lot of Brondo in it. It's Idiocracy.
Oh,
where are we at? Let's see here. There they are.
Yeah.
There's President Hector Camacho. And Luke Wilson is amazing in it, and so is Dax Shepard and Maya Rudolph and Terry Crews. I thought it was just a very fitting movie for this time, because of a certain leader in charge right now. And if you haven't seen it, it's Dax, or not Dax. Luke Wilson is in the military, and he gets in suspended animation, and he gets woken up in year like 2500 or something, and they basically break it down that all the smart people are looking out into the world and saying we shouldn't have a kid in this day and age, and so they smart people stop having so many kids, but all the dumb people are having lots of kids, and it just snowballs, and basically the whole world that he wakes up to is that they're all just complete idiots.
I would say, okay, I want to make a list here real quick of my top 3 favorite intros of a movie. Okay, so this one is one of the top 3 favorite intros of any movie.
Yeah.
Number 2 has to be like Up. Up has the best beginning of any movie. And then I'd actually say, even though it's not going to be talked about tonight, Dawn of the Dead, the remake, the very intro of that movie is incredible. It's
like with
just
the
like
suburban.
Yes, where like it's her and her doctor husband or whatever, and the little girl comes in and like bites the husband, and then she has to get out the window. It's and then she's driving through the neighborhood and stuff, you know.
And then they pull back, and you see just cars
crazy
everywhere and explosions and shit. Yeah, it's awesome.
Honorable mention, I'll throw in. What is it? 28, not days. What's the second one?
Weeks.
28 weeks later. The intro of that movie, where he has to escape the house and get into the rowboat and take off in the water, and he has to leave his wife behind because like she wanted to stay to save a child or something like that. That's another great intro. But I'd say those 3 intros, They're incredible, man.
Yeah.
Idiocracy. The reason
It's
Idiocracy
amazing.
is even a good movie is because of that intro. It's like perfect.
Yeah.
And it explains a lot of what's going on in this world we live in, I tell you.
You know what's crazy about that
Judge
movie?
is a genius.
He is.
He got all of those sponsors to sign off on letting them use their brands in this movie.
Like the Carl's Jr. owns
all of them. Yeah. So basically, they filmed the movie with all of these licensors, and then the licensors saw the movie and they're like, pull it, and they couldn't at that point because it had already been released. So the problem is like with this movie and why it wasn't a success. A lot of corporate people buried this movie. Like, no, they didn't want this movie to be seen. So it
makes sense.
Like word of mouth, and it spread kind of virally. So,
like in the movie, Starbucks is just a prostitution store.
Yeah,
that's all.
I don't love. I might need to revisit Idiocracy. I don't love Idiocracy, but I might need to rewatch it. It's been a while.
I love that movie.
I wasn't like I didn't love the Dax and Maya and Luke Wilson characters like as much as I wanted to, but I think I need to rewatch it because it all the stuff I remember of it was really funny, but it almost seemed like it was too much.
It is too much, but it's worth rewatching, I think.
Yeah.
There's
all right.
There's a docuseries on Hulu, I want to say, and it's basically all of these stars talking about their big breaks. And there's one with Terry Crews, and it's amazing. And he talks about this movie and like how it changed his entire life. Without this movie, he wouldn't be where he's at. So yeah,
he's so good in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great. Who's next?
What you got, Ron?
I think that's me. My number 2 movie is SpongeBob SquarePants the movie.
Woo!
Is that why your background is the way your background is?
Yeah, I'm hiding out in a Bikini Bottom right now. That's right.
As you're wont to do, you know.
Well, I watched this the other day with my kid, and I don't know.
So good.
I just saw it too.
Yeah. So what is it? Plankton sets up Mr. Krabs to get in trouble by, what is it, King Neptune. And anyways, it's all a long con going on for Plankton to get his formula. But he starts putting these buckets over everybody's head to enslave them. So there's the scene that I was like, oh, this is totally post-apocalyptic, to where Plankton has everybody in a bucket and they're following his command and they're doing all his bidding. And they're just like zombies. They're Plankton zombies.
One of my favorite things about this movie is the fact that they've got a Twisted Sister song that basically saves everybody. That's best. And SpongeBob,
yeah, what is it the "We're Not Gonna Take It" song?
No, it's "I Want to Rock."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Dave. Have you watched these movies?
I've never seen these movies. I've never seen.
Dave.
I know, guys. I know.
You should watch them. They're honestly, the first two are hella. I think they're coming out with a third.
Yeah.
I would say like they're both incredibly funny. Like the second one's really, really funny. This one is great too. I love this one, but I saw both of them in.
Which one has Hoff in it?
This one.
The first one.
The first one does, yeah.
Yeah, Hasselhoff shows up at the end of this one, Dave.
All right. So where can I see this? Does anyone know, or is it streaming somewhere, or should I just look it up?
Oh God,
I think I rented it.
Yeah,
I think the second one would definitely be easier to find than the first one, but they probably both should be around.
I see them on TV all the time.
It's Nickelodeon, so is that
Vital? Oh, you know what? They're on HBO.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, I've got that, so I'll check them out for sure.
But they're worth it.
But on another level of that, I wonder too, with like all the animals and stuff being alive. Is this like post-apocalypse under the sea, right? Like all the pollution and stuff we're doing too.
Yeah. What I loved about this was that this scene in particular, Dave, you'd really like this scene that's on the screen. They are talking, and it's like they're all wearing regular clothing. And then Squidward is talking to Mr. Krabs, and he's telling him, he's like, look, it's only been like a day. you know, what could possibly go wrong? And then literally it cuts to this, and it's like everything is Mad Max.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll check it out for sure. I'm looking to see if it's anywhere else. Now, what's the name of this one, Ron? That's
SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie. Not.
Oh, it's just the movie. Okay.
Yeah. What's the other one? It's not Sponge Out of Water, but that one's great too.
I always thought that SpongeBob was like for little kids for some reason. So it just wasn't.
There's some stuff in them.
Yeah.
It's Ren and Stimpy level, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got SpongeBob. Let's see. Is this? I'll figure it out.
Cool.
What you got, Bri?
I guess we talk about Dawn of the Dead. I was gonna talk about. I didn't make this distinction. It's my fault. But the original Dawn of the Dead. And actually, I think I saw this first time. I saw this was actually with Dave. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's something about this movie. It's just so good. And I know they made a remake, and actually the remake is probably Zack Snyder's best movie. But
yeah, it might be. It might be.
That's very well done too. But it's basically just, you know, zombie apocalypse, the continuation, and it's a bunch of people who end up, you know, getting into this mall, and they hold themselves up in a mall, and it's actually quite fitting for right now because they're almost sheltered in place in this mall, and they're all just kind of trying to live as best as they can while they're kind of trapped. Like, they have some amount of freedom because they have all this stuff in the mall to do, but they're all trapped there. And there is that sense of kind of, you know, you want to escape.
How long were they in there in that movie?
Oh, I forget. It's so long. They stay there for quite a while.
They're in there for like months.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then they do all this ingenious stuff. They got all the trucks. They kind of cover all the exits. They even build a false wall at one point so that even if something happens, they can retreat to it, and no one can find them. And you know, as with all these movies, there's always something that happens that causes all the mayhem to occur. And probably one of the best endings that like flips the script that you usually see, and it's got one of the greatest endings of all time, I think, in it. And
I really, really dug this movie. I think that it's the perfect continuation from Night of the Living Dead, because like they don't connect, but it just takes like everything just like a step further and explores like that life. You know, the it's almost like it's not post-apocalyptic. It's not even a zombie apocalypse yet. It's starting still. You know what I mean? And it's just like one of those things where like after this movie, I don't think that Romero got it right after it. I think it's like the perfect movie. And I love Night of the Living Dead too. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a great movie. I like the remake on that one almost as much as the remake of this one. But yeah, this one has a charm to it. There's something about it that just makes it.
I think this one's on the short list of like better sequel than original type of like movie. Yeah. Whether you go with like Evil Dead 2, you know, somewhere it's like they nailed it. Although I love the first one, like Alien, you know, where you're like, I kind of love Aliens just a little more than Alien, even though I'd never say Alien is a bad movie, kind of a thing, you know.
Yeah, I still love Night of the Living Dead. I would say I think I like that one more just because it's the OG of all OGs. You know what I mean? Like, if that's the one that launched 1,000 ships, I know that there's a bunch of like Italian zombie movies too, but they're just not really up my alley. For me, it's like Romero, and that's the end. So like, yeah, just those two are the best. And the Crazies, like I guess without Romero's The Crazies, we wouldn't get your version, John, that you love. But I don't think that he got the Crazies right either. I don't know if you guys watched the movie.
We also wouldn't get Land of the Dead, which was an atrocious train wreck of a movie.
Oh my God, it's terrible. So bad.
All right, so my next one, I think it's to me. Let's see here. I would say, how about, I know, here, I'll do this one. Let's see. Come on. Come on. Oh, God. I'm drawing stuff on the screen now. What's
hey, you are.
All right. Let's see. Nope. All right. Never mind.
What are you trying to do?
All right, I don't know why it didn't work this time. It worked every other time, but apparently this time, no working. My movie was Night of the Comet.
That's another we're stuck in a mall thing. That's pretty good. That's a really good.
We're stuck in a mall, Dave.
I was gonna take it, and I thought, if I don't take it, I know John will. So I didn't even put it on my list, and I knew John was gonna take it, so that's perfect.
I'm gonna try this. All right, that didn't work again.
For the longest time, it was unavailable too, and then it came out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it came back out. Yeah,
it's out. I think it's on Amazon Prime now.
Well, what really, because we're doing a good job of really bringing these things around. I think what this one did a really good job of was showing the emptiness of like a city when everybody's gone, and you just kind of, yeah, right. Like you have the ability to just kind of go do what drive around anywhere, and there's not a lot of cars, there's nobody really, but this movie was, this is another one that's like super awesome gem. It's got zombies, it's got like people die, turning into red dust, it's got cute girls in cheerleading outfits, it's got it's got Tempest, it's got like a high score on Tempest. It's got everything in it. Now I love this movie a lot, and I think it's really cool that, like, the one thing that I thought was really cool is because if you were ever inside of a metal lined building, you just didn't get turned into a zombie. Nope. That was it.
Right. You're all good.
You're all good. You don't get killed by the comet. So
now I don't know how popular this movie was when it came out. What year is it? Like 1986? No? Okay.
Yeah, it's probably like 85, 86.
I remember seeing it in the theater and feeling like...
Really?
No, he didn't. No, he did not. You did not see this in the theater. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
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 Night of the
It's 1984.
Okay, you were definitely not seeing this in the theater.
Okay, maybe my memory is fucked here. But I remember seeing it when I was really, really fucking young, and like thinking I probably shouldn't be watching this. You know what I mean? Like it was really.
Well, there's a really good scene where the cheerleader takes off her clothes, and then like a cop zombie comes in, and it's really scary. It's like one of the scariest moments in the movie, I think.
I really, really love that movie. I looked at the director, and his name is Tom Eberhard, and I don't know. Like the rest of his movies look like shit. So like, good on you for making this one fucking sweet movie. He did a movie called I Was a Teenage Faust. I don't know what that is. It looks like a bunch of bad shit. Just so bad. Oh, he directed Captain Ron though. Captain Ron.
Oh, Captain Ron.
Speaking of boat themed Ron movies. So anyway, that movie is great. My number one, we're done with our number twos, right? My number one, Mad Max Fury Road.
Yay!
My favorite.
It's so good, right? It's the best. Do you think it's the best Mad Max movie?
For me, it is. Yeah,
it is, right? Yeah, it's so fucking good. It came out of like nowhere. Like I'm sure that when everyone was heard that this movie was coming out, everyone was like, "Nah," and then it came out, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" Because George Miller, the original dude that did Road Warrior and Mad Max, did this movie, and it doesn't look like he didn't miss a step. It's like he learned how to run, man. This movie is fucking intense. It's just nonstop.
Wait, I'm sorry, guys. I put up a picture of me without my shirt on. I'm sorry. Hang on. I gotta get this out of here.
But it's rad, and Tom Hardy's rad, and Charlize Theron is better.
Okay, steals it.
This movie, like, when we're like in another, like, say 10, 15, 20, I think people are gonna still look back at this movie as being like a masterpiece of filmmaking, really.
Yeah. If this is the last movie that he makes.
Oh, shush! Don't shut up, Dave.
I'm just saying, like this is a perfect movie. It's a fucking perfect movie. There's like nothing bad about it in my mind. And I saw it in 3D, and It's fucking insane. I have the 3D Blu-ray. It's bananas. Like everything is coming at you at all times in this movie. It's fucking so sick.
I had a baby brother.
Did you? There was the theory that the Mad Max that's in this Mad Max is the kid from the Road Warrior. Do you guys believe that, or is this supposed to be the Mad Max character? Because he doesn't say much in this movie. He just kind of grunts.
Right.
Doesn't he say his name is Max Rockatowski or whatever his name is?
I don't remember that.
No. I thought he did, but maybe I'm wrong.
And then, funny thing about this movie, I guess he and Charlize Theron had a thing going during the movie, and they broke up halfway through production, and they stopped talking to each other. So they would only get together to film their scenes, and then after this movie, they were like, never again. We're never going to make any more of these. So I don't know if they're ever going to make a Mad Max separately, like do a Hobbs and Shaw thing where they spin her off into her own movie. But it's been years, and I imagine that if they were going to do that, they would have already done something like that, right? So, fingers crossed that they do more Mad Max, but we'll see.
All right, Granty, what's your next one?
My next one is Isle of Dogs. And I picked out...
Is that a post-apocalyptic?
Not so much. It's more of a pandemic thing, but it's a pandemic for dogs because it's centered around in Japan. There was a dog flu, and so Kobayashi, the mayor, whoever he was sending the dogs to Trash Island, and you've got this insane cast of voice actors: Bryan Cranston, Ed Norton, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Murray, Frances McDormand's in it, Scarlett Johansson, Harvey Keitel. The performances are amazing, and it's Wes Anderson written and directed, and the animation is amazing. It's just overall, I fucking love this movie.
I feel like is John getting abducted by aliens right now? It looks just...
He has been the whole time.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen this movie, but I even hate to admit it, but I'm not a huge Wes Anderson dude. I'm not really into Wes Anderson. So watching this would be really, really tough. Shut your face. I haven't seen Fantastic Mr. Fox. I haven't seen, I just saw, Moonrise Kingdom not that long ago. Pretty good.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Shut up.
I think you'll like it, Dave.
All right, maybe I'll check it out.
It's hella good. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You don't like Wes Anderson. You don't like good movies, so I won't. It's okay. But it's hella good, right, Grant?
It is.
Do you like that or Mr. Fox better?
I like this better.
Ooh,
I'm going to shut off my video just for a second. But
I need to rewatch it.
I need to plug my computer in, so I'm going to be running around.
Okay.
Mr. Fox is really good. I do love it, but I don't know. Some about this movie, it just it's got some twists and turns and
the voice cast, like you said, is like so good.
Insane.
And it's just like the stop motion is so good in it. It's just incredible. The design, everything about it is so cool. I love it. It's another one I need to go rewatch. I've been meaning to rewatch it.
When you see Trash Island and all the sets that they have and all the stuff in the background and it's all real, it's like they built all that. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, Ronald. What's your final? Are we on our final movie? This is our final. What's your final movie?
But I want to ask Grant, what's the age level of the Isle of Dogs? Can little kids watch it without being too traumatized?
Yeah. There wasn't anything crazy in it.
Okay.
Bigby watched it when it came out, which was 2 years ago.
Oh, so he was about
2018.
So he would have been 7.
Okay.
And he used to really love Fantastic Mr. Fox and would watch that all the time. So if you haven't seen that, then that's one that Bigby had no problem watching that one.
Okay. So Mr. Fox in this one. Okay, cool. My number 1 pick is, did you have a one? Oh, there it is. Right, is that it?
Night of the Comet? That was Night of the Comet. See, there you go. That's Night of the Comet right there.
Oh, that's not it. Okay. It's just
what did you want? This one? Was that yours, Ron? No.
No, mine was gonna be Matrix, but I switched to SpongeBob for.
What is your fucking?
My one was Wally. I don't think you have it.
Oh, that's right. No, I do. Sorry. I do. I'm sorry. I apologize.
This podcast sucks.
You suck, Dave.
Anyways, I'm sure everybody watched it. I don't have to go.
There it is. Yeah.
But I just see this like the ultimate end game for like humans in general. It's like the world gets screwed up. What do? They hightail it out on a spaceship. And it's like right now we're gonna find a way to get to Mars. We're gonna find a way to get off the planet. Why? So we can just screw up this planet and hightail it out of here. It's just totally yep.
There he is. There's our guy.
Wall-E.
This one is another one that like it's an interesting movie because it's two movies. You know, it's the first part and then it's the second part. And although I love the second part, it's beautiful. It's the love story, but the first part draws me in so much. I remember I went and so this is the one that I actually got to go to Pixar and watch before it premiered. And what was really interesting about it is that we watched pretty much the whole first part, and then when it got to like him getting up into space, the projector broke. And so, yeah, we had to leave. Like, we didn't get to finish it. And so they invited us back to watch it again, you know, when they got the projector fixed. So it was like I had never got to see the whole back half of it for a long time. But even the first part of it is just so incredible. And it's totally like what our society could head for kind of a thing.
What I liked about this movie was it didn't feel like paint by numbers Pixar movie, if you know what I mean. Like they had done a bunch before Wall-E, and a lot of it was like cartoony figures, you know, running around, and nothing so like industrial as Wall-E with like, I mean, if you just look at him, he looks like something out of Short Circuit or something, right? And I just thought that the design work in it was fucking like brave, I guess, of them to do this movie when they were riding high on the Toy Story and Bug's Life.
It's a silent movie for the first, 40 minutes of the movie. It's literally like there's no nothing really until the back half where they start to really voices even come in.
Yeah.
What year did it come out?
This is 06, 07, somewhere in there. It was like, I was working over there, so I worked there from 05 to 12. So somewhere in there, like
2008.
2008. There you go.
So in Idiocracy, one of the things when they go to the future, they talk about the great trash avalanche of 2550 or whatever it was, and it's very, very, very similar to Wall-E with these giant mountains of trash. And that was in 2006. I wonder if they got a little inspired.
I love. This is still in my top favorite movies of Pixar. I just don't know why I gravitate towards it so much, but I truly love this.
It's brilliant.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's probably it. Yeah. All right. Who's next there, Brian? I think what's your number one?
Uh-oh.
Brian doesn't have his audio.
Brian, sorry.
Because your kid's back there. I see it. Did a child just grow out of your shoulder?
Hi. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. Look at his background. What is that?
SpongeBob.
That's right.
Nice.
Okay, bud. I'll come down a little bit, okay? All right. Last one is Matrix. The Matrix.
This movie...
Give me a picture because no one knows what it looks like.
Yeah.
I know. What's the Matrix again? What is that?
It just knocks you on your ass, man. That movie is so fucking
good.
So great. They postponed the new one. Obviously, everyone postponed everything, but
not going to come out for a while.
But the first one is like, okay. What's your opinion of the other two?
I like them.
Do you?
I need to watch the whole thing again because I think the middle one. I don't know if that quite did it for me, but I don't know. I'm a little nervous to go back to some of the second and third one just because I don't know if the special effects hold up very well. Like they do a lot of CG actor stuff.
Yeah,
that
like when they do like a billion Mr. Smiths or whatever.
Yeah, that didn't look quite great back then. So I'm a little nervous to see how that looks now. But I like the story overall.
I think that like the first one's so perfect that like you don't necessarily need to have the other two. I mean, but then at the same time when it came out, you wanted more of it, so you got more of it and you appreciated it for when it came out. But I just don't know if I loved them like the first one.
I watched number 1 with Bigby recently. He really liked it. And then I have watched 2 recently. You know, the thing with 2 and 3, we talked about this last week, that 2 and 3 kind of remind me of similar to like a Hobbit type thing, where maybe you could have done 1 movie and not 2 movies. Yeah, because they were both a little bloated, but there was such great stuff that you could kind of pull out of those movies. You know, whether there was some great Neo Smith fight scenes, and then that mech soldier in the whatever place they were, Zion. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed a lot of those movies, but it just some of it got so deep into the hokum of the religious type stuff, you know, where they didn't really have an idea of what their religion was, but they were like kind of trying to push this weird religious vibe, that like the spiritual vibe about Neo that I don't know if they actually fully explained and worked. Like it never actually. So, I mean, I guess if you just look at it for the action, it's really awesome, but any of the other stuff kind of fell really flat in those movies.
Yeah, and I think that like all of the things that you like about the other 2 are in the first one. It's just amped up, right? And I just think that the first one, like, I mean, it's on your list and it's the top movie for a fucking reason, right, Brian? I mean, it's so good.
It's so good. It's so good.
And nothing you've ever seen
and
before.
even story. Yeah, I mean, the story is very interesting. And I was impressed that they were able to, well, I guess it was old enough that they, you know, that spoiler train didn't exist quite the way it does now. So it was quite a surprise to kind of see what is the Matrix kind of thing that they hyped so much. And that was like really awesome how they revealed that and like what happened and how they kind of got to that point.
This was the first movie that like, it's the reason I bought a Blu-ray player or a DVD player. Like that DVD when it came out, it had all that extra feature shit on it, and I was like, man, I cannot wait to dig into this Matrix, man. I loved it. I think that maybe that's why I'm not that big of a fan of 2 and 3 is because I love the first one so much. I just don't know if, you know, like we talked about it earlier, the sequels do not ramp up the story at all. The first one's just perfect the way it is. So.
I did just pull out the Animatrix, and I need to pop that in and watch that one too. That one's
pretty good.
Yeah, it's got some good stuff in it.
There are some good stories in it.
I also pulled out what was that one with Batman, where he did the same thing.
Ninja?
It was like Gotham Knights. No. Gotham Knights. Yeah, that
Something
was a good one too. Yeah, where it was different artists, their take on Batman.
Yeah.
That was
writers. Yeah.
I just pulled that out. Yeah, the Matrix, I mean, if anything, what we got to say about the Matrix is it brought upon this revolution that we now, every movie we watch is basically the Matrix, because you see how they make Endgame and you see like what they're doing, and it's Matrix times 1,000 now. It's all green screen. Dudes aren't even like anywhere. They're just literally in a green room, and they just add all that stuff behind them now.
Yep. Yeah, but without the Matrix, I don't think you would have the Marvel shit the way it is. Either.
No,
so it's like,
it pushed everything like so far. Like without the Matrix, like so much wouldn't exist because they just pushed everything so far. You know.
Yeah, we wouldn't even have cool fucking Keanu Reeves if we didn't.
We wouldn't have Speed Racer.
Right. Did anyone ever see Cloud Atlas?
I did.
No.
I did.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm
a Wachowski completist, and let me tell you, it's a no good.
It's a no good?
It's no good.
Oh, all right.
It's okay.
No.
I'll tell you that. It is the okay. How did you feel about The Village?
No Jupiter Ascending.
How did you feel about The Village by M. Night Shyamalan?
It was okay.
I kind of like.
There you go. That's Cloud Atlas. It's okay. Not the worst movie, but maybe not the best movie. You know, I mean, it's like Brian said. Jupiter Ascending is honestly one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and If we could do
was that Wachowski? No,
I never watched it. It was Wachowski. That thing is like legendary bad from whatever.
You've never watched it, Brian?
I never watched
Brian.
it. I heard it was so bad.
Please.
I was like,
we should all watch that movie and just have our reactions to it next week.
Can we just do a live stream watch?
I mean, why shouldn't we? Why couldn't we?
Besides the legal technicalities, I think we should. All right, I'm the last one, and so
you should definitely, John, put it on your computer, and then definitely we put it on. You share the screen, we watch it together, and we comment while we're watching.
There you go.
I would love it.
My last movie is This Is the End, by the boys, Franco and Rogan, and all that. I honestly, like, when I saw that in the theater, it's one of the funniest hardest times I've laughed in a movie theater, I think, in a long time.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
It's perfect, and the scene of Danny McBride coming downstairs and wasting all their food is just...
Oh, I like the come battle. It's just, come on, you, Franco.
With the magazine, yeah.
Oh God, it's so good.
It's so good. It's easily one of the best like comedies I've seen in the last 10 years for sure. Has it been 10 years? It might have been longer. Who knows? Time is gone. Time is a flat circle.
Yeah. That is a great end of the world movie for sure.
Yeah.
One of the best.
I mean, dude, Jonah Hill in it, just being like good guy dickhead Jonah Hill is like the best thing ever.
What happens to Jonah Hill is kind of how I feel Grant would go out if it was our apocalypse crew. Like, I feel like Grant would definitely get the like devil, the devil rape or whatever would definitely go down with Grant. Trying to say that quietly. Quiet.
Hey Grant, in that scenario, you're on the bottom, okay? Oh my God. Oh, that's so good.
All right. Well, I think we made it through.
Our last one?
I think that was our last one. We made it through another episode. I hope people actually listened. We talked for a good
forever.
About an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, and I'm going to put it to anyone that's watching or leave it in the comments.
You made it this far.
You made it this far, but would you rather see shorter episodes? Because what we're thinking about doing is recording like a catch-up episode where we just pour ketchup all over each other and lick it off. And then in an episode where we then just talk about a topic for the week. So you get 2 episodes for the week, and they just be a lot shorter than this one. This one went for an hour and a half. But
so you got to comment though, and leave the comments below and tell us what you guys want us to do, because we're idiots and we don't know.
No. But it's good to be back, guys. It's good to see you all alive and kicking.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you do,
we got a good.
Let me know.
Good response on our last episode. I mean, a lot of views, which was really good. So that as long as we babbled on for that time, it was a lot of views.
Is it someone at the door, Brian?
He's being summoned.
It looks scary as shit. Like if a weird.
Yes, my son. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's both of them. Yeah, they're tired of being locked away.
Nice.
That's actually a closet that Brian has them in right now. So they're just trying to get out.
Yeah. Right. How'd you get on your chain?
Well, let's call it a night, guys. It's a pleasure. I'll see you guys next Sunday, and we'll have more episodes for the viewers. Spread the word. The Geek Savants are back.
Yeah, keep telling it. Thank you for joining us. If you guys watched this whole episode like you watched the last episode, we love you guys. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.